Hello everyone, if you're watching my video, thank you very much for looking. I'm hoping to just share a little bit of my Magic the Gathering collection with you today. Hopefully this is the first video of many. I'm a longtime retro video game and Magic the Gathering player and collector. Over the years, my collection has grown and shrunk in size because I've had to sell for various reasons. But now I'm hoping to grow my collections both out and share them all with you here. And I just wanted to share a few stories of my first video here with my beta set. So originally I did have Power 9. I started playing during the Unlimited era, revised. And I do remember cracking open cards like Ancestral Recall, Mox Emerald, and Mox Pearl. I know I had those cards back in the day. I even recall pulling out a Mox Pearl, and I think I was in grade 6 at the time. And I remember looking at it and thinking, oh wow, 1 white mana. Why don't I just include another land instead? Then they can't shatter it. And like many other kids, I just tossed the useless Mox aside and put another Plains in my deck. You know, sadly, I did end up selling a lot of my cards back in the day for maybe like $50 to another kid. My dad just didn't take me to the Magic store. I didn't really have any other friends in it. And I just sort of didn't have anybody to continue with me in the game. So I ended up getting rid of all those beautiful cards that I had. Later on in life, you know, I moved out, finished college, got my own place. I did end up buying some more Magic the Gathering cards. I hate to say this, but I got a Mox Pearl back. I got my Unlimited Black Lotus back. But again, you know, fast forward a couple years later, I met my beautiful wife. I had a family. I had stepkids to pay for. I ended up selling off, I would say, at least half of my Magic the Gathering collection to, you know, pay for bills, laptops, school, just a whole number of things. And again, it was probably the more higher end cards that I had. So all my best cards I had to sell off. So again, I'm not going to do that anymore. We're all hardcore collecting and saving for a big vault from here on out. So this is going to be the start of my reclaiming my video game and Magic the Gathering collection. I will tell you that I do have quite a extensive video game collection stretching from Atari across pretty much every console you've heard of till the modern age. So I will share that with other videos, but right now we're just showcasing our beta collection, which is very modest. I have just under 100 beta cards, not including this one, of course. But let's open the binder and let's just talk a little bit about the beta set. I thought this would be a good place to start. You know, I don't recall playing with too many alpha cards back in the day. I don't think too many people where I lived had them. Most of us were playing with unlimited and revised cards at the time when I got into the game. And these are just some of the beta cards that I've since collected since I've got back into collecting. I finally have time with my family to get back into maybe showcasing some of my collection for you guys. And let's open the binder and see the modest cards that I have inside. Don't be expecting power in here because there's absolutely not. You know, but maybe we can change that going forward. So, you know what, the first page here, I just started with one of each color basic land. You can check out the condition of the cards. You know, it's very hard to find beta cards in good condition. That island's not so bad, eh? I really, really miss the original art styles of these early vintage cards. Even the earliest sets. You know, I feel like 4th edition is one of the most underrated sets in Magic the Gathering history. But again, this being beta, let's just check out these beta cards here. Some white wards. It's really hard to find these in stores. I've been to a lot of local game shops lately, and I've been trying to find beta, unlimited, revised, even 4th edition, and these cards are getting harder and harder to come across. A lot of local game stores are now absolutely sold out of beta, or they just refuse to sell it. I hate to say this, I walked into my favorite gaming store where my whole Magic the Gathering journey started. I'll just say it was called Phoenix Rising in St. Catharines, Ontario. It's probably about, 30 plus years ago when I walked in there as a young child. But I walked in there this week, 30 plus years later, and I asked them, I said, listen, do you have any binders I could look through? Any beta, alpha, unlimited? I said, absolutely not. I said, how about some 4th edition, some revised, some 5th, 6th, or 7th edition? They said they had absolutely no trade binders. They only had singles in the display case, and that was it. They didn't even have recent modern sets for sale. And I'm noticing that as a bigger trend in a lot of the game stores I go to, and I'm not sure why. So I'm just excited right now to have some of these beta cards back. Some of this art just takes me back to grade 6, grade 7, grade 8. Playing Magic the Gathering at the local game store back in the day. Diablo 1 was popular at the time. I remember people were playing Diablo on the computers at the local game store back then. Look at this wall of air. Look at this beautiful art. Here's some of the blue beta cards we've got. My favorite cards when I started playing were definitely the black cards. When I was a young kid and I saw cards like Drudge Skeleton here, or Frozen Shade, I thought this was the coolest thing I had ever seen. And even today, they're just not making cards with this art anymore. You know, I don't care. I don't even know how much these cards are worth. I know that none of these cards are the high value cards, but I can tell you that now I collect cards more for the art. I want to collect some of the vintage sets. I love investing in early Magic cards. I'm not really into the modern foils, secret layers, and all these extra universes they're bringing in. You know, when I was getting into the Magic, it was all about cards like this. I remember being a young kid and seeing Sacrifice. And I'm like, oh my God, look at this guy. This is vicious, man. They don't make cards like this anymore. Pestilence. They don't make cards like this anymore. And this really sold me on the lore and fantasy of Magic the Gathering back in the day. Terror, also, again, one of my favorite cards ever. I actually just picked up a couple copies of Terror from Revised, and one of them is like super saturated. You could actually swear that it was a 4th edition card. The ink on it is so beautiful compared to the other Terrors. I'll show it to you in another video. One of my other favorites when I was a kid is just Disintegrate. Again, just the art on some of these cards is just incredible. Anson Maddox, thank you. That is just a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Earthbind, again, this is one of my favorite pieces of artwork when I was young, and it still is. Quentin Hoover, thank you. Earthbind, man, beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. Fireball. So I really enjoy owning these beta cards. I know I'm never going to be able to complete a set of beta. I don't know if I'll be able to complete a set of unlimited. We're going to try for that. And I'm definitely, right now, my main goal is to complete all the sets of revised 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th edition core sets. And I really miss playing with these cards back in the day. Just some beautiful beta cards. I know they're worn. This Shatter's really, really worn. This is the one I was afraid of. Look at that 2-man. I'm like, you're going to destroy my Mox Emerald. If I put a Plains in there, you can't do it. I thought I was being smart taking out the Mox. I mean, we didn't have the internet back then, and we were just little kids. We didn't really know anything. Crawlworm, I recall, is probably one of my favorite cards when I was a kid. Yeah, I knew at the time that you were spending 6 for a 6/4, but I didn't care. He was swinging for 6 damage, and look at this, man. I loved casting that guy on the table. It made playing fun when I got to play that card. Force of Nature, Lord of the Pit, Nightmares, Sarah Angels. You guys all remember. I noticed Sarah Angel is hot demand. It almost doesn't matter what version she's from. This is a beautiful Regenerate too, or Regeneration, sorry. And just a few more beta cards here in the back. We got some green Streams of Life. So the next time I go to my local game shop, I will take my camera here. We'll go through their binders, and I'll show you what kind of stock is left at some of these stores that I'm going to, because it's really not much. So that was it for my beta binder. Man, Soulnet, that was another one of my favorite cards back in the day. Just amazing, amazing art. Living wall. So we're going to be trying to grow our collection. We're going to be doing tons and tons of trades. I'm going to be showing you a lot more of my Magic the Gathering collection. Again, this is just a few of the beta cards that I've got. We're going to be diving deep into our retro video game collection. I will probably start with Atari. I figured, if I'm going to start with some beta cards from Magic, we'll start with some Atari games, and we'll work our way forwards from there. So if you like collecting, if you're into collecting, if you like Magic the Gathering, if you just like listening to people like me talk, subscribe and like, and I'm going to try to be uploading a video like this every single day going forward. And eventually, I've got my own website. You guys can check it out at Baneslayer.com. We've got gaming videos on YouTube. Again, I don't have lots right now, but we're starting to get more into it. We've got a Reddit up. We've got some Discord stuff. So look for lots more to come from us. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.